He might put him to sleep.
Oh, he's tapping.
Did they have the black belt ringside? How does the black belt thing work? Like, did the coach have the black belt and he knew that Tyron was going to win this fight by submission? Or what if Tyron won by knockout? Does he still get the black belt? All right, so recap: Darren Till versus Tyron Woodley, his fourth consecutive title defense. First of all, where is he going amongst the greatest welterweights of all time? Obviously, you got George St. Pierre, Matt Hughes, Robbie Lawler. I think he's definitely already passed Robbie Lawler. He definitely passed Matt Hughes with this title. And before people crap on Matt Hughes, Matt Hughes is one of the most dominant champions ever. So people don't give Matt Hughes enough respect, but I think Tyron Woodley has passed him. In my opinion, he's the second greatest welterweight of all time behind George St. Pierre. He still has a lot to catch up to. George St. Pierre has been, he's been dominant as dominant can get. GSP beat everybody in the past, right? The guys like the Matt Hughes, the Frank Triggs, and all those guys that were before him. He beat everybody in his generation, the Josh Koscheck's, the John Fitch, the Thiago Alves, the Dan Hardys. And he also beat Johnny Hendricks, who was like the next generation of guys. It was a very tough fight. He could have lost. He did retire after that because I don't think he could have beaten the next generation of guys at welterweight, but he definitely cleaned out his entire division at welterweight. Nick Diaz, Carlos Condit, you name it, he's beating them all. So Tyron Woodley definitely has some ways before he can catch up to GSP, but certainly the greatest, the second greatest welterweight of all time. We saw the same thing from the UFC again. This thing where they disrespect the champions. They think this bigger, stronger, younger kid challenger is going to be the next champion. It was the favorite. Most of the promotion was for Darren Till. We just saw that against Francis Ngannou and Stipe Miocic, and we saw what happened. It was a one-sided beatdown, and I loved it. I loved the fight, even though Ngannou is a great guy, great fighter. I'm a fan, but I want Stipe to win because of that. Right, and the same thing with Tyron Woodley. Like, Tyron Woodley was just getting slept on, and he was just being disrespected as a boring champion. Like, he had one boring fight against Wonder Boy, and Wonder Boy has a lot of boring fights. It's hard to have an exciting fight when you're fighting Wonder Boy. That's just styles make matchups, and obviously Damian Maia, but. People were forgetting the exciting fights that, his exciting knockout wins over Josh Koscheck, the first Wonder Boy fight, his knockout win against Robbie Lawler, his fight against Carlos Condit. They forget about that. And people were, in my opinion, were just sleeping on him, disrespecting him, not giving him. I think he's the most underappreciated champion maybe ever because people just hate on him for no reason. So I'm very happy he won. Well-deserved victory. Darren Till was dominated. There was not a single moment in this fight where he had the advantage. He didn't do anything in the first round, and in the second round he got cracked, got beaten up, beaten down. If he made it past that round, that would have been a 10-8 round, right? I mean, that's an absolute one-sided as it gets. What's next? My man Nick Diaz is coming back. Woodley wants a big fight, money fight. They can make that fight. I don't think Nick Diaz deserves his title shot, but maybe if he comes back and beats somebody big, then he can, fight for the title. But we'll see, man. We'll see what's next for him. And I like that after he choked him out, he wasn't out there screaming and yelling and doing all that, right? He just walked away like, hey, I knew what was going to happen. I knew I was going to beat him down. Right? I mean, everybody else didn't know. Everybody else kept doubting me, but I knew what was going to happen. The company kept doubting me. Dana White had some not so nice things to say. The fans were hating, booing him. And boom, you saw what happened. So I love it. That was a great win for Tyron Woodley. And like I said, I think he's the second greatest welterweight of all time. What's the big money fight? George St. Pierre versus Tyron Woodley. That's the fight. GSP, stop trying to do that 155 cut. I don't think he should get a title shot against the winner of Conor and Khabib. I think that if he wants to come back to the UFC, Tyron Woodley, the greatest welterweight fighter of all time against the current greatest welterweight alive right now, right? Let's see that fight. That's the fight to make. Passing of the torch. Matt Hughes gave you that opportunity. Matt Hughes gave GSP that opportunity, and GSP should now come back and give Tyron the same opportunity, and that'd be a great fight.